Oh, thank you so much.
Hello. Okay. We got deleted off of one of my my Facebook lives here, so we will remove it. Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DiChiara here again with more technical difficulties on my Facebook Live. I will get this down one day. I promise you, folks. But if you're watching, give us a hashtag live, and if you're watching live, give us a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, please give us a hashtag replay. And like I said, my name is Joe DiChiara, and I am here today to share with you another episode of the When Live Summit that is coming up this Thursday. I can't believe it's coming up, and I do have one of my friends, and we are live in my group now also. So I overcame the technical difficulties. I'm pretty proud of myself here. So okay. Anyway, no, I don't think I did, but anyway, we're gonna keep going with this. Anyway, it's being recorded. I will post the recording in my group afterwards. So I am here right now with another one of my new internet friends who I would not know if it wasn't for social media and Facebook Lives and Haley Gray. And I'm very grateful for that. And I want to introduce you to my friend, Gill Fountain. How are you, Jill?
I'm good, thank you, Joe. I'm good. And yes, you're right. I wouldn't know half of the people I know, I don't think, if it hadn't been the fact that I couldn't sleep one night many, many years ago, and I found Haley's group online. And it just struck me as being a really great group of people to work with. And I've made numerous friends since then. So I suppose I used to work with America, because I used to, when I was in the toy trade, I was the international distributor for Radio Flyer. So I was used to working in different time zones, but I became an international, even more international, if you like, through the people that I was meeting inside When.
Yeah, it is amazing. So I sense like a sort of like Brooklyn accent.
No, I don't.
Where are you from? Because I don't.
I am from the UK. I absolutely. I was bred in the UK. Perhaps okay. I'm talking to you guys far too many times.
I'm joking, but I love the accent. But the fact is that you're in the UK. It's what, like 11 p.m. there now, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's past a lot of people's bedtimes. Yeah, so I appreciate you're coming on with me here.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
But I have found that social media. It used to scare me. I didn't understand it, but now it's become an integral part of my business because I've been able to meet people like you and Haley, and now this is where I do most of my business. So it's amazing. And Haley Gray put together this amazing summit, which you're a part of, and so why don't we do this? Because I'm talking. Give people an idea about where you've come from, because you mentioned toys. Oh, we all like toys.
Yes, many years ago. It was actually 30 years ago. I was asked if I wanted to run my own business. And it was something completely alien to me because my family were not business owners. And I leapt at the idea because it meant that I could drop my work and not go back to my corporate life, but stay at home with the children for, I thought, 3 years. And I began selling outdoor play and toys. And I went from retail to wholesale to international distributor. And that's where I bumped into Radio Flyer. Well, when I say I bumped into them, I didn't actually bump into them. I made a beeline for them. I saw their products and I decided I wanted to import their products into the UK. And it meant that I was speaking to them, and this is before Wi-Fi or broadband or internet. It was in those days of transatlantic phone calls. And I don't know if you remember them, Joe, but they were a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Cost a fortune. And what actually happened, what sealed the deal, was I came over to New York, to the New York Toy Fair, and I met up with them there. And that was when I started working with them. And I worked with them for 12 years, and it was great fun because as a company, they're brilliant. And I literally introduced them into the UK, and I went straight up, built my way up through all the exhibitions, working with the buyers, and we got into the top high street stores, including Harrods, which is really the main store that you want to get into as a seller. So yes, that's where I started, and I was known locally as the toy lady. People would see me, or rather the children would see me when I was out and about and say, "Oh, look, mummy, there's the toy lady." And it was quite sweet the way things happened along the way. And funnily enough, I then went on to meet their grandchildren. So I met the children with the parents, and then they came back as grandparents and bought for the grandchildren. So I was very lucky. It turned into a generational business, and it went on until it came to that awful time that we all know about, around about the 2008, 2009 time, when the buying habits just changed. And at that point, I went to my warehouse and I looked at floors and floors of toys and thought, we're going to have to do something about this. And we decided to go back into the brand and marketing side that we'd originally come out of in the first place. And of course, over the years, we've been branding and marketing other people's products and toys. And we just decided that we would market overall, not just the toy trade. And that's how we came into being 38 Partnership, branding and marketing.
Right.
So yeah, it was very interesting along the way. We learnt a lot. We knew a lot of the top buyers in the country, including an awful lot of the smaller independent shops as well. And it was fascinating to see how they all worked individually and the ideas that came out of the smaller shops as to how to bring in the general public and keep those children. Because in a toy shop, when children go to a toy shop, they want that special memory, don't they? It's like a fantasy dream world that they want as they go into a toy. And the toy owners wanted to keep that sort of memory for the children. So it was a lovely sector to work in, I must admit.
So you took your corporate, I mean, because you're talking about large business, radio flyer, isn't that the
that's the wagons, yeah.
Right, the red wagons, right? I remember that from, yeah. Oh my God.
Did you have one?
Of course.
Of course.
How do you not have one? But so that you were, you forward thinking, bringing them, that must have been huge.
It was massive.
So now you went from that down to now you're working with the smaller entrepreneurs.
Yes. Yes,
right?
And it's great fun because we see how well they build their businesses once they've got people behind them, and they've got confidence in what they're doing. It's wonderful to see their businesses grow.
Right. So now I see the connection now, because it was like, okay, I knew you were the toy lady. So I don't think I heard that part of your story, how you connected the two, but that's brilliant.
Well, along the way, this is where we came into LinkedIn, because the buyers that at the time were saying to me, I don't know about you, and I'm pretty sure we're the same. We didn't grow up with social media, did we? It wasn't part of our childhood. It certainly wasn't part of our teens or anything. So everything to do with social media, I had to learn. But it wasn't me that was sort of pushing myself forward. It was actually the buyers that came to me and said, Jill, we've been told we've got to get onto this thing called LinkedIn and we haven't got a clue what it is. Will you go away and find out what it's all about and come back and tell us? So that's how I got started to get involved in social media. And I must admit, at the time, I was a bit like when you said, I sort of dipped my toe into it and thought, I really don't like this, because I was used to talking about other people's brands. I wasn't used to talking about me. And I felt that when I put myself out onto social media, it was really about myself and not the brand or the product I was talking about. And so it took me a long time before I actually got into social media in a larger way. But
that's a good point, though. I never heard anybody put it that way, because that might be part of people's hesitancy or whatever to get into it, because it's sort of like you're in the spotlight, right? It's not what you're doing for your client. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly it. You can hide behind your brand or your company name or anything you want. You can hide behind it, but actually when you have to put your photo on, you have to be out there. And if you're the sort of person that doesn't want to show your face and you want to keep hidden, then social media probably is quite a hard place to be. And I know some very, very good, highly skilled people that know their business from absolutely all the way through, and they do not like going on social media because they feel they will be judged. And I've said to them, but you're excellent at your job. You know your profession inside out. Why are you worried about putting your photograph or your image on your account? And they just shy away from it.
And it's funny because I had my friend John Limbacher do a training today in my mastermind group, and he said something that really rings true, which he said, whatever happened, like you were talking about before social media, and I remember those tele things.
Yes.
I remember getting the first fax machine. We were looking at it like nobody wanted to touch it.
Yes.
What if it does something?
Yeah.
But what he said is anything that's happened in the physical world, it's the same thing in the online world.
Yeah.
So, and you were saying about, and I'm thinking, no, social media for me was going out in the street corner. That's where I met my friends.
Yeah.
Was social. And, if you stayed in your house, you didn't meet anybody.
No.
You go to school, you meet, whatever you have. But then the social stuff where, you start having fun is and you got to show your face.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
It is the same thing. But obviously we can show our faces internationally now.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And that's
how your audience expands out. As you get into different groups and you work with different people, and suddenly you start having conversations, perhaps in private messaging, Facebook messaging, and you get to know them. And before you know it, you're buying from them, they're buying from you.
And you actually have real friends.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that a wonderful thing to think about? To the point, I've seen, I suppose with, particularly if we're going to talk about Wen, I've been with Wen for probably 3.5, 4 years maybe. But, we've seen children come, we've seen children arrive, but we've seen sort of them go into their teenage years and everything during that time. So isn't that a wonderful thing to be part of that sort of family community?
Absolutely. And that's what Haley created. That's exactly what she created there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you, I have my VA she was with Wen like right in the very beginning, and she's like, she sees like Haley's growth and all of these people.
Yeah,
So it is.
it is very much so. I mean, it is a I think a long time ago I said, you know, this is like a family unit, because you see the weddings and the births and the announcements, and sadly you see the deaths as well. You know, there's this ongoing life that goes on. It's quite fascinating, actually.
So I'd like to bring out a teaching moment here that you just I don't know if you did it by design but you did something that was brilliant. And again, that's what my friend John was talking about it today. And he teaches us about the way you designed your business. You didn't go out and say, oh, I'm going to be a LinkedIn expert, and then it's like your customers basically told you what they wanted.
Yes.
And that is brilliant.
And that's really how most things happen. I've just actually launched another service for coaches, but it was because the people that I were meeting were coaches, and they asked, you see a gap where people are saying to you, I really don't know how to do this. And once that's happened about 12 times or 6 times, you start to think, hang on a minute, I know how to do this. I should be training them or teaching them or showing them, giving them webinars or something that will help them get that next step up the ladder, so that they can grow their own businesses.
Right. So you're actually listening to your people.
Yes, we do. We listen a lot. Because it is about identifying those gaps, isn't it? And trying to help people. And if we've got a skill that we know about, why not pop it onto the next person and help them grow their business?
Yeah.
I suppose what happens with us is that the people that are talking to us, and I don't know about you, Joe, but there's an awful lot of people that talk to us all the time, and they tell us their concerns, and you see the gaps in the market there and the gaps in their business where you can help them. So you design a product around that.
Yes. So you did a great job. So tell me about, I'm fascinated with LinkedIn. I'm not on it that much. I found my niche on Facebook. That's where my people are. But a lot of people, in fact, one of my clients, I'm steering her towards doing, LinkedIn stuff. So tell me what this is that you do. 100, what is this? LinkedIn Local.
Wow.
Right?
So LinkedIn is one thing. That's a business platform. And I must admit, there is an enormous potential to not only meet new people on LinkedIn, but to gain real business on LinkedIn. LinkedIn Local is a networking group that came out of people that were on LinkedIn, and they wanted to have that face-to-face connection to the people that they were already connected to on LinkedIn. So they called it LinkedIn Local because the idea was that the networking groups would be held in the local communities, in different towns in the country. It started off in Australia, and it was purely a response to one person wanting to meet the people that she had connected to on LinkedIn. And she arranged a meeting in Australia, this was, and there were so many people turn up. It just sort of grew and grew, and before she knew it, she had other people from different areas, so America, the UK, and I can't remember the other one, but anyway, there was 4 people that were interested in starting the same sort of group in their different countries. And again, other people came, other people heard about it, and the whole thing expanded. And before we all knew it, we were gathering people in on a monthly or weekly basis. They were networking, they were meeting people that they may be already connected to on LinkedIn, but everybody brought their different friends. So you might go to a meeting where 2 of your connections were there, but then another 10 connections were from other people's connections. So yeah, it grew and grew and grew. And what I really liked about it was that there was a huge teamwork spirit about growing this type of group. Any money that came in, any net profits that came in went for charities. So you tick the charity box, you tick the connections and the build, know and trust relationships that you can build. And it was a nice get together to have on a monthly or a weekly basis. So it was a win-win situation all the way round.
So, okay.
So what it was it was people that we connected with on LinkedIn, meeting socially outside face to face.
Okay, so now what is this a service that you provide? Is it just part of LinkedIn? Is it a group? I mean,
okay, it's a networking group. However, we all meet individually. So I'm a host, and there's about another 1,000 hosts around the world now.
Oh wow!
We all meet, in our individual groups, and we run our groups in the way we want to. But the ethos is the same. It's about meeting your connections that you've met online, meeting them offline.
Interesting.
It is interesting, and what I see in these groups is that there's a huge amount of support. I have never seen competition. I've never seen rivalry. It is a very nice way of helping to get business and helping people, supporting people along the way.
So you could have like other accountants in a group.
Yeah, everybody's welcome.
And I have that in my Facebook group because I don't know if I have too many accountants. They've told me on LinkedIn, oh, I'm an accountant. You don't want another accountant in your group.
Oh.
And that's silly. I know there's networking groups that don't like that. One per industry, right?
Yeah, that is true.
But it's, I guess, the mindset of really community, right? And now these are virtual meetings, obviously, right?
Now we are.
Now
we are all back on. Isn't it silly though? Because this whole thing started because they were meeting people online and they wanted to meet them face to face. And now we can't meet them face to face because we're in this situation with the virus. We are now all back online, but we've got to know each other through Zoom and through StreamYard.
Well, it's face to face. It's just not, it's virtual face to face.
It is. But as a host, I've seen some real strong friendships and people working together, very eager to help each other out, offer solutions to problems. We've had marvelous speakers come along now, and I've just recently started this. I've started inviting people that perhaps are a little bit shy or a little bit concerned about speaking. And I've said to them, okay, so you don't want to, be the main speaker of the evening. Why don't you come along and just do, say, 5 minutes and give us a few tips? And that's gone down very well because we've seen them come back again and their confidence is growing onto the side.
That is, I love that. I have a friend, Sue Brooks. She wanted to start a network. What was it? Networking for introverts.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Doesn't that sound perfect?
Yeah, so that's great that you're able to coach people. And I've seen, I had my own thing with Facebook Lives. Like, Haley basically coached me into it. But it's scary. It seems like, and people say, Joe, you're all over the place. This took a lot of soul searching and it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It isn't. But once you've done it a few times, you then think, do you know what? It's this is okay. I'm enjoying this.
It's not all of a sudden it becomes, what was I worried about?
Yeah. And
But
then
it's easy to say, so thank you for doing that.
no, it's fun. It's nice.
Now I know who to send people to when I get a client like that. I'm like, yeah, you need to speak to Gill. So what is this? So what are you? What's your objective? Do you want people to join your group? Are you looking for more hosts?
I'm looking. Yes, I would love more people to join me on my Facebook group. They are very welcome to join me in my LinkedIn local that I host second Tuesday of the month. We have, believe it or not, we are a very small town in comparison to some of the others. However, we've become an international LinkedIn local because we have so many people come in from other countries now. So if anybody wants to come and get a flavour of what a UK networking group is like, then they're very welcome to join me.
Can you? I would love that. I would love that. Can you post that in the chat?
Yeah, I'll post the link. I'll post the link to the event in the chat box. Okay.
And now is there a charge for this?
No, if we were meeting face to face, there is a charge because of the facilities that we have to pay for. But for virtual, on online Zoom, there's no charge.
Okay. Wow. Wait, there's got to be a catch.
No, there isn't really. There's no catch. It is what you see is what you get.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I do something similar on Saturdays. I invited people. It's a little mastermind group.
Yeah.
But yeah, these things. This is great. I had no idea, Jill. All this time I know you, that maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But this is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, yes, I am gonna. That's Tuesdays. What time? I gotta make sure I'm in the right.
Tuesday of the month. I will get the event up, and I'll get it.
Okay.
And then I'll pop it in the group in a little while, Joe, because it'll take me. The one thing that I hadn't got up here was that particular event.
Okay. Well, I didn't think we didn't think in advance, but what they can do, what anybody can do, is you could meet Jill and talk one-on-one, right? During the When Live Summit.
Yes.
Correct?
And I believe I am following you.
Are you you're following me?
I think so. Are you on the Saturday?
I'm on Saturday, I think at 4 p.m.
Yeah, I think I'm after you just before it closes.
Awesome. So I'll be opening for you.
Yeah.
I'll lay the groundwork for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So yeah, that's a perfect segue.
I appreciate that.
So any words of wisdom for people?
Wow. I think it's really the case of overcoming those insecurities, those concerns. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Basically, there's many blocks, isn't there, that stop us along the way, and you just get that inner voice that says, "Oh, I'm not sure. What will people think, or what will I make a fool of myself?" Well, no, you won't. No. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Ask some friends to help you if need be. Go into a smaller group if you want to. But just start out and do whatever you want to do, and you'll find it'll work.
That is great advice. And for me, I could, I'm just thinking back. It wasn't that long ago that Haley had to basically coax me into. And there's I think I deleted my first couple of Facebook. They were embarrassing.
Oh.
But if you want a little secret, what I decided was, that inner voice, I said, what if I make a fool of myself? And then it hit me. I said, I always make a fool of myself. What different?
Yeah.
Yeah, what difference does it? One more time? That's not going to kill me.
Just one more time. Exactly. That's the point, isn't it? The fact is that we've done it so many times, we just go, oh, well.
Well, yeah, after I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? Somebody's going to laugh at me?
Yeah.
Good.
We're used to that.
So, yes. So, anyway, this has been awesome, Jill. Thank you so much. It's funny when I interview people, it's like I get this adrenaline, like, oh my God, I can't believe I just learned all this.
Oh, wow.
All this information, and now I know more about you, and I hope other people will, reach out to you. And if besides the when thing, how could they connect with you?
Well, I do run the Facebook group Building Tomorrow Today with 38 Partnership. So
Okay.
That, but Facebook Messenger, anybody, if they're going to be on Facebook, if they'd like to Facebook message me, then that would be great.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks so much, Joe. It's been a real pleasure.
Yes, and I will be uploading this to YouTube, so you can.
Oh, really? You didn't tell me that.
Of course. That's part of the deal. You didn't say that. I'll have my attorneys will be contacting your attorneys.
Oh, thank you so much.
But, it's all good. All right, Jill.
I'll say good night, Joe.
Yes, good night and God bless. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.